live. There's not even a countdown on this.
Yeah, that was sudden. Morning,
It was
everyone.
very sudden. Good morning, everyone. And how are you today out there in the virtual world? Zal and myself, Romany, having another virtual coffee, another week, another day. And gosh, I can't believe it's August already. It's too much.
I know, don't remind me. You know, when I know it's month end is when the kids come rushing in, kind of like in the semi-middle of the night going, what happened? Is it load shedding? It's like, oh yeah, I forgot to buy electricity. It's like, okay, it's month end, I forgot to buy electricity. Happened last night, and I was like, oh my goodness, can you believe it? It's what you say, it's August. How did this even happen?
I know. And I mean, we've already been, what's it, April, May, June, July, 4 months in lockdown. It's been hectic, man.
Insane, huh?
Yeah, I think people are finished for it. So if you're out there, hi everyone out there in the virtual world, please let us know if you're around. Say hello, let us know what you've been up to, what your challenges are, and let's have a discussion about how we're going to help each other in business. It's all about networking and connecting and really being strategic about the things that you want to do.
Yeah.
That's been my experience. And in the last week, I've had some questions on how to, find more customers. I had questions on, what else did I have questions on? I had, pretty much about finding customers online. Now, Elle is very much an offline networker. She's a pro offline networker. And I'm pretty much maybe a pro online networker, I say.
Not maybe, you are.
Because I have a tendency to be able to generate business really quickly should I need to, if I want to, largely because I sit and I spend time engaging and networking with people online. So one of the things that I learned from strategic networking, like from the ZAL, is, there's different networks. And different networks have different energy of people, different networks, different people attending, and they also have different elements to them that make them valuable. So attending, which I think we've attended all the networks. We used to go out there every month, attending all the networks that were out there. And then over time, you kind of realize, well, you know what, attending this network is actually not benefiting me. And I'm not getting much out of it. Yes, I'm meeting people, to meet people, but you start adding up your time and the amount of time that you spend networking and working out your return on investment. You've got to decide, is it really worth it for me or not? So what is your take on that, Lizelle?
You're definitely speaking great truths over there. Networking is actually two words. It's a net that works. It's not net coffee drinking and net chatting. It's networking. So you have to find the network that fits for you. Now, quite often people say, but especially startups, we all make this mistake. When you're a startup, you want to do everything for everybody for free because you believe that that's the way to do marketing. But if I give it to them all for free now, then they'll get like a little taste of my business and then they'll become customers. That unfortunately only works when you're already a well-known brand and you want to buy some loyalty or whatever. Giving things away for free can work in very, very specific places. And that's why when you go networking, you got to be subtle about the things that you give away for free as well. I know everybody dishes out pens and little notepads and those. It works, but the big thing is to mine the data, the output. So how you do that is if somebody phones you and they're interested in your business, and you need to ask them, so where did you hear about me? You got to know, did you hear from Facebook? Did we meet at a network? Did you have my little notepad lying in front of you and then you needed that service and then it happened to be there? And then you need to take that data and write it down somewhere, type it on a spreadsheet or whatever, so that after about 3, 4 months, 5 months, you can start seeing where does most of your customers come from. If they all come from Facebook, then you phone Romany and say, Romany, all my customers come from Facebook. Help me to streamline it, to make it better, because that obviously is where my customers are. If all your customers come from word of mouth referrals, then find out who's the person that refers you the most and buy them a cup of coffee and thank them. Because I promise you, if you show them a good gesture, they will double the referrals to you, because they would feel like you treated them special, you really appreciate what they do. But if you do not measure the worth of your network in its outputs to you as a business, then you might as well not network. Then you might as well not do any marketing, because you're just like a blind person. They say, if you don't do proper advertising, it's like winking at a girl in the dark. You know what you're doing, but nobody else does. So you got to measure your output of your networking and your marketing that you put out there.
You do. And I like what you're saying there, because sometimes a lot of people would say to me, social media doesn't work. And it's not that it doesn't work. It's maybe that you haven't got your sales message right, or maybe you're not sales, because that's something that often comes into marketing. Is they come to us and say, the marketing is not working, and I'm going, okay, but you've generated leads there, you've got leads there. What happened to those leads? And more often than not, those leads have fallen by the wayside because the sales hasn't proactively taken care to nurture those leads and convert them into sales. And not everybody is a customer on day one. So Mary will buy from you today, but John might buy in 6 weeks' time, and then
exactly.
Results took 10 years to become a customer.
I know. Some people are just slow, Ramani.
No, that's why it is. Or something. But the gist of that. So it's all about nurturing relationships, and that's what I love about the online world, because it gives you that opportunity to do just that. The problem, the mistake people make is that they don't spend the time to build relationships. 90% of your work is actually listening to people. Yes, I speak a hell of a lot, but I spend an enormous amount of time. You think I'm not listening, but I'm actually observing and paying attention to everything you do. So let's take, for example, this lockdown. 3 things that's come out. What key things do you think has come out of this lockdown? What is people's needs? What are they experiencing at the moment? And how are you going to cater for those needs within your business at the moment? So it's not just a matter of, I'm just got this product to sell and you must just buy my product. No, you've catered to a certain need within the business. And I agree with you that, you can't give yourself, and I've made that mistake myself, where I was giving a lot of myself for free to everybody else. And a lot of people abuse that. I've learned now to strategically give of myself for free. And also, when I do that, I've made peace that I am doing it, and I love doing it. So I love sharing knowledge. And in the online space, one of the key things to generate business and to attract customers to you is to share knowledge, to educate people on the things that you're interested in. And that goes for the business that you're working as well. So, and so for me, I love giving of my time free. And I'm going to give you a perfect example of networking and online networking that a lot of people do seem to not understand or get. Let me give you an example. So one of the key things is to engage in conversations, not just on your own Facebook page. It's all fine to go and post, and or your LinkedIn page. It's all very fine and well to go and post, here's my business, here's what I offer. Oh, did you hear Trump did XYZ? Or, oh, did you hear the government's done this? Or, oh, did you hear? It's all very fine to go and post what you're interested in on your Facebook page. It's all very fine and well. But if you're not going to engage in conversations, you might not get the traction or the information you need. And it's also a relationship, you hop on. A lot of people do that, especially when they're now unemployed and they've got now they must look for work, but they haven't been around for the last 6 months or 3 months. And then all of a sudden, oh my gosh, I'm going to get into the thing. And they start to remember miracles to happen. It doesn't work that way. I think it's where, relationships count. You've got to build relationships. And
Absolutely.
the same. So go and spend time engaging with your network, just your friends, is a good start.
Yeah.
I mean, since I started networking more actively, or I always do, but just recently I've met a lot of new connections that I would
Nice.
never have thought if it wasn't for online networking.
Networking, yeah.
Yeah. So let me just give you a quick example. I'm going to learn something new over here. Screen share. Oh dear. Okay. I don't know at first, but let's just go that way. And where am I going? There we go.
Yeah.
So last week, so it's all about information finding. I don't know what you guys can see. It's all about
I can see.
finding. And it's all about understanding and getting to know your network. And one of the ways you can do this is by asking people questions.
Yeah.
Business. Lizelle and I love business. We love to talk about business. We love to share our knowledge about business and relationships, and help to upskill and uplift others. And so for me, I love to know what it is you do. And so I thought, okay, I'm going to start a hashtag. And this is something else I want to get into a conversation, because everybody seems to hashtag anything. Anything is a hashtag. No, anything's not just hashtags are based on key phrases, popular key phrases. So I'm starting a new one because I want to track a conversation, and it's called network. So if you go in the search bar and you type in "Let's Network," which is now a new hashtag, you'll find all conversations related to network. So I've got another one that I like to use, which is hashtag mom. And the reason I use, I know there's a lot of moms online, but I have a mind over matter hashtag.
That's cute. Yeah.
If you go and hashtag that on Facebook, you'll see conversations relating to that. Now, you would hashtag things like lockdown, lockdown, because everybody's talking lockdown. If you go on especially Twitter. Twitter is the hashtag kind of scenario, the environment where
Instagram, you can get lost there though.
Yeah, yes. And you can streamline conversations. So people are talking about on the internet, I go into Twitter and I go hashtag lockdown and see all the conversations that people are talking about related to the lockdown. Same with LinkedIn. Also likes to use hashtags. Facebook is not really a hashtag. So over here, I've posted share your service, your skills, your knowledge, or the product you offer, because what I'm doing is, one, I want people to get exposure. I want people to market themselves. So it's also a good way to get to know your network. So whoever comments, you get to know, like here, Derek DeToy's posted, if you didn't know about assisted nursing, now you know that there's somebody that does assisted nursing.
That does that,
Trudy posted about her network in terms of helping other people. She helps young teenagers. And Mary Kelly does coaching and counseling. And I've recently connected, there's Claire Pelser that does virtual services. And Bruce, who does tax practitioner. Jean, I know she does copywriting. She's actually a novelist. She has a couple of books. Suspense thriller. Cool. Yes. Patricia Manchin does life coaching, and then we've got Shamima that does coffee. But there's somebody I want to mention, which is Cheryl Lorna. Her husband does sculptures and artwork. Artists. They're just so nice because they showed me a link to their website. And they've been so innovative in what they've started and how they've tried to transform or migrate into the online world. So they've gone to the website and they've got their family to help them out. And they've gone and set up this beautiful, beautiful website. I don't know if you can see it. Where they're marketing their art. And they've done it so beautifully.
Amazing.
Sorry, I don't know if I'm there. So I've gone off my page. So let's see. Oh,
I can see your page. I don't know if you can see what I see a Facebook page now. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yes, I see. Okay, so I'm going to have to learn how to do that one again.
That's cool.
So so that is basically, and they've gone and set up a beautiful with a lot of art stuff and things, paintings and drawings and beautiful spaces. So it's really You can learn so much about different people if you make the effort to contribute in the conversations.
Yeah, yeah.
Couple of shout outs there. We're just going to say Cindy saying ha ha. Not sure what you're saying hello, ha ha for. Eve said good morning as well. And Anna Maria said good morning, Romney and Lizelle. Lie there.
Morning, Anna Marie.
And Eve has said in her experience, no one ever appreciates things when they get it for free.
That's very, very true.
So the question is, how are you networking? What are you doing? How are you strategically networking, whether it's online or offline? Going to now, Lizelle, just coming back.
Yeah, yeah.
Networking is asking questions. Ask people questions. Don't just talk about yourself. It's not about you.
Yeah. You know,
Yeah.
it just made me think of that when my son Jonathan was younger. And there's a reason why I'm telling you this. It kind of links to the conversation. Then he's one of those really sort of blue personalities, very analytical, and everything's very logical, you know. And he would read widely, and he has this immense amount of general knowledge, and he still does to this day. He just absorbs. But then the problem was that when we have visitors or, you know, we sit around the dinner table, he would be so excited to share something that he's now read that is of absolutely no interest to the rest of the people, but he would completely monopolize the conversation. So we decided we need to teach him about you know, a bit of social skills and filters and reading your audience and you know, just engaging in a different way and not have a monologue. So the way Anton, my husband, was trying to explain this, because we needed to approach it quite carefully now, because you didn't want to break the little oak spirit now. I mean, he was quite little still. He was about 6 or 7. So Anton says to him, Jonathan, do you know what a monologue is? And he thought a bit and he was thinking, and you could see the little gears going. He goes, well, you see, Anton, when there's a dam and there's only one log in it. We laughed so much and realized we needed to start a different approach. And that's sometimes something as simple as just understanding the words, understanding your audience that you're speaking to, your customers that you're trying to approach, to make sure that you and your potential audience understand exactly what you're talking about. What is, you know, don't throw out technical words that nobody knows what it means. Like, I can speak about ED and SED and CSI, Romani. I don't even want to know how many acronyms you know in the tech world. But you cannot speak to your customers in that kind of language. So it's also making sure everybody's on the same page about the conversation, you know, so that you don't monopolize the conversation, and also that you are speaking the right language. I mean, you know, English can sound like Greek sometimes if people use the wrong words. So that's all very important things to consider when you're busy networking. You know, you might be so excited about it and everyone else is falling asleep. So you got to be completely connected with your audience as well, you know, and your customer, to see, are they actually engaged with me now? Read the body language, you know, kind of just see if there's a time that you need to just stop talking now, you know, and it's done, and you got to give the other oak a chance to engage as well.
I know, that's what I was realizing now. I was like,
yeah, but you forget because we get excited, yeah. It's actually quite an art. Yeah. Networking is something you need to practice. It's quite an art. You need to be conscious, and we all run away with the excitement of what we do. You know, we all run away with that, and it's something that you just got to practice all the time. It's like, am I still with my audience? Are they still looking at me, you know, and kind of make that eye contact. You can even do that online. I mean, what I try to do is, like now, Romani, I try to look at you in your eyes as if you're sitting in front of me. Otherwise, I find I get distracted by the visual noise around me on my laptop. So the first times that you and I had this meeting, I remember you giving me that feedback to say, Lizelle, you come across very distracted. And actually I was, for no other reason than all this stuff happening here on my laptop. Then this pops up and that pops up, and, you know. And now I started focusing on you. I'm actually literally looking you in the eyes as if you're sitting in front of me. And it's made a huge difference in keeping me engaged in our conversations as well. And those are little things that we need, Romani, in our life to kind of guide us through this minefield of online stuff,
Yeah, and vice versa, and vice versa.
Yeah, no, we share.
Lots of skills and ideas and from the things we share.
Yeah.
And, it's not just always about your business either, because, as we have a lot of different interests, so engage or try and find out what people are interested in talking about. Because, first of all, when you meet someone on a basis of a personal connection of something that you're interested in, or we have a common interest. And business can come by much later. I'm trying to think. Recently, I connected with someone that I've connected with for quite some time, and yet, and we've been talking. Oh, that's right. Oh, can't reveal. But yeah, so I went to school. Well, we grew up together in the same area, and we reconnected recently. And but over the years, we've been in touch, and we commented on each other's stuff every now and again. And it's only in the recent time that we now actually might end up doing business together, You just never know where that conversation comes from.
No, it don't.
Just have fun networking.
Absolutely, yeah.
And a lot of people feel very tech challenged. A lot of people feel, it's my time. Then manage it better. Then strategically network. Have a goal in mind. Have an idea of what it is that you want to get out of it. Whether friendships, whether it be relationships, whether it be business, have an idea of what you want to get out, and then allocate specific strategic time to say, what, I'm busy in my day, the whole day. I've got so much to do, but I allocate at least half an hour of my time just going online, commenting on so-and-so's post, seeing who's up there, who's getting up, what's over there, and so that would be one of my recommendations.
You are making me think of this now. There's when you do go networking or trying to do sales, there's always three things that you have to deal with, and you got to strategically plan for those answers. Why would somebody not buy your product or your services or do business with you? There's only three reasons. It's time. Oh, I don't have time right now to get into it, but I will phone you, or I will come, or will. So time is one of the excuses, if you want to call it that, or objections. There's three major objections. And when you network, you need to practice how to get over those objections. So time is the first one. The next one is interest. You haven't even sometimes finished introducing yourself, then someone already decided they're not interested in what you are selling, or interested in your business, or interested in anything other than themselves. So you got to try and find a way of getting them interested in you. And then the most popular one and the obvious one is money. Nobody ever has any money, and now even more so, it's actually becoming a bit more of a reality. But people will always say, oh, I don't have time, I'm not interested, or I don't have money. Now, if you know about those three main objections, then you need to start planning around it, because sometimes you don't even have to talk about your business. I know when people ask me often, so what do you do, Lizelle? Now, that to me is a very loaded question. I can't just tell you what I do, because I do a lot. I need to know how to answer that question. And that's what we all must do. If somebody asks you, so what do you do for a living? Don't just go blah, 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 because if you do something that 100 other people do, you are now placing your brand into the hands of a potential customer that doesn't know you. So you can't just answer the question. You can't just say, I'm a hairdresser, because that's so boring. You got to think of something exciting to say that will get people's attention, the good old pitch thing, But I find often people, my go for that, Romani, is if somebody asks me, Lizelle, what do you do for a living? Then I go, oh my goodness, I do so many awesome things. But hang on, let me quickly hear, what do you do? And then once they start telling you what you do, then while they're talking, you listen attentively and you try and find where your business will fit into that story. And if it doesn't, then you just don't go and revisit the question, because that person more likely than not won't even remember they asked you what you did, because they're now so excited to tell you about what they do. They've forgotten that you still have your side of the story. And then if you can fit into their story, then go for it. Angle it so that you fit in. If you can't, then just have a lekker networking conversation and make them leave as your friend. And they will always remember you, because people always remember how you made them feel, don't they? So that was kind of like my experience from a networking vibe and how to really engage with people.
And that's such good advice, because it applies to online as well. It's like I was speaking to someone the other day, and I said to them, come on, be honest with me. Have you ever seen me advertise my business? Ever? Online? Have you ever seen a template where I've said, hello, this is contact me on XYZ? Have you? No. But yes, I generate a lot of business.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. You got to find out where it fits. Sometimes you got to advertise. It depends on your service, and other times you need to just, as you say, build relationships and just work around building your network. I find that there are so many people that I'm connecting with now, customers or clients actually in our business, clients that would normally not come to a meeting if I invited them, because you always want to see someone. But because they can just hop online, I've actually been able to connect with people that have almost been unavailable to me for years. It's been incredible, Romany. And that's why we all need to understand this whole new way of online marketing, because you will now have opportunities that you might never have had before, and don't mess them up because you're scared of the technology. So again,
I love that. I love that. Thank you for sharing that, because you know what? I've actually generated 2 very crucial leads in my business, and that is people who are actually overseas. They're in the UK.
Yes.
Saw my profile, they connected with me, they started getting in touch with me. That wouldn't have happened without technology. They're sitting overseas.
No.
And so now I'm taking on 2 projects that is very important to me. One is training in social media, and the other one is to do with networking, funny enough. And it's because, they've seen me online and they've spotted me online, and I've made myself visible and present. And that I would never have happened without technology. So we were able to go to Zoom and have a meeting and have a chat, and we liked what we saw and we liked each other. And so like now when we do this, I'm going to be going to meet with one of the guys to discuss.
How exciting.
Yeah.
You know what, you find that you just learn so quickly. Sorry, Romany, sorry.
No.
Because I was just getting the hang of Zoom, and I was so excited I could do a virtual background, and I know all these things, and I'm all lacquer. Then somebody invited me to Teams. It's like, oh my gosh, what is Teams? And then I had to learn how that works, and then somebody else invites you to some other platform. But it's just amazing how you just know that instead of getting into my car and finding the network coffee shop somewhere far away, it's almost the same. I'm climbing into my virtual car and navigating my way through all these different platforms. And if that's something you need to do, it's something you need to do. You just got to get on with it. So it's been quite exciting.
And I think those businesses that have embraced technology is having the same experience, and I think it's working out for them. And we're all teething our way through it, I mean, technology updates themselves. I can't profess to know everything, because I tell you what, I wake up tomorrow and there's a new tool and a new thing. There's a platform I have to get onto, and I'm like, I just don't have the time, but I need to actually really make effort and get on there, because it is part of my business to know tools and services. But gosh, have run out of time, and that's why I was like, I can't believe where the time is gone, and we've got so much to say. So I just want to, before we close off, because Lazelle is something, we've got a guest coming on board next week that she's going to tell us about. And then I just want to read some of the comments that's come up. Cindy has said that read and understand your customer. Also important to listen. I'm learning a lot of new things and acronyms, soaking up as much as I can. Thank you for sharing that, Cindy. Yes, Cindy's coming to help us a little bit. And then Eva says one thing that she's found is that some people are quick to ask you to like and join your stuff, but then they like or join your stuff. It's about building relationships, giving and take, give and take. I just
Absolutely.
because you reap what you sow. I agree. I'm also a bit of, I tend to just give, and the best opportunities comes along with giving. But yes, a reminder that, you know, what you put in is what you get out. So I do understand, because sometimes it can be a little bit frustrating when, you know, you're putting out all the effort out there and you know, just like your stuff a little bit or share your stuff just a little. We still reap the rewards from all of that.
We absolutely do. Romani, I think we've run out of time, so I'll just very quickly say that next week we are going to feature one of our entrepreneurs who runs his own coffee shop, and he does barista training. It's called Kudzai Coffee Company, so anyone wants to just hop on and maybe check out his Facebook page. He's quite active on it. So it's Kudzai, Kudzai Coffee Company, and he makes the best cappuccinos ever. And I think I spent half my salary at that damn coffee shop. But I just wanted him to come and share his journey with us, because he's got a beautiful story. So we'll be hosting him next week, Wednesday. And if you want to maybe announce our changes, then that'll be it for today.
Good. Yeah. And in closing, yes, I'll pop the link. I'll pop Kunzai's link in the link below.
Thank you.
To this chat. And yes, I think we're going to change our time slot to 3:30 from onwards. I'm just, so we will be now starting our chats at 3:30 in the afternoon, because having spoken to a couple of people in my network, they've all said, oh, they're so busy in the morning, they can't always come in.
Same.
Sessions. So we're going to move the slot to 3:30 in the afternoon, and it also helps me because sometimes I work until 1 o'clock in the morning, and then I my head can't handle it. I know it's naughty, but you know what? I love what I do, and that's what it is. I get so engrossed in what I do, and then it's like, oh, I've got to do another thing. So it's my own fault in essence. So if you've enjoyed this conversation, if you would like to network with us, connect with us, please go ahead and do so. We invite you and welcome the opportunity for you to do that. And if this is helpful to anyone that you think might be helpful for, please share it with them. And think next week we might discuss mindset, because I saw an interesting post online where someone posted a comment saying that I think we must get to a point of not trying to always change the person in poverty's mindset, but we need to start changing the rich person's mindset. I looked at this and I'm going, okay.
We can talk about that. That sounds very cool.
I think we're going to talk about that next week, about mindset and all that. So that's from me. Have a wonderful week.
And everyone, thank you, Romani, for hosting us, and nice to chat, and see you all next Wednesday afternoon at 3:30. Bye-bye.
Oh, I remember that. Bye.